The divorce was final on a Wednesday. By Friday, my mother-in-law had filed for grandparent visitation rights. I sat in my attorney's office reading the petition while my daughters played in the waiting room. Emma was 7, Sophia was 4. They didn't understand why Daddy didn't live with us anymore or why Grandma Diane kept calling and crying. "She's claiming you're denying access," my attorney Sarah said. "Alleges you're alienating the children from their father's family." "I offered supervised visits twice a month," I said. "At my house, with me present." She refused. "Why supervised?" I pulled out my phone, scrolling to save text messages. "She told Emma that Daddy left because I'm a bad person. She gave Sophia ice cream after I specifically said no. Sophia's lactose intolerant. She was sick for 2 days. And she keeps trying to pump them for information about my dating life." Sarah read through the messages. "This is documented boundary violation. The court will see this. Will they grant her visitation anyway? Probably limited. Maybe once a month, supervised at a neutral location. But given your concerns and documentation, you'll maintain control." That wasn't good enough for Diane. The calls started that weekend. First from Diane, then from my ex-husband's sister, then his brother, then his father. All saying the same thing. I was being cruel, keeping Diane from her grandchildren, punishing her for her son's mistakes. She raised 3 kids. My former sister-in-law Ashley texted. "She has rights to see Emma and Sophia. You can't just cut her out." I blocked the number. Monday morning I installed the Ring doorbell. $45 on Amazon, installed in 16 minutes. The app on my phone showed a clear view of my front porch and driveway. That night, Diane showed up unannounced. The Ring alert pinged at 8:47 p.m. I was reading bedtime stories to the girls when my phone lit up with the live camera feed. Diane stood on my porch, holding something in her right hand. I went downstairs keeping the door locked. Through the window beside the door, I could see her clearly. "We need to talk," Diane said loudly. "Let me in." "It's late," I said through the closed door. "The girls are going to bed." "Then bring them down. I want to see my granddaughters. You can see them at the supervised visit next week." That was the agreement. Her face went red. "I don't need supervision. I'm their grandmother. The court will decide that. Please leave." She pulled papers from her purse, pressing them against the window glass. "I had my lawyer draw up a custody agreement. Weekends with me, holidays split 50-50. Sign it and we can avoid court." My heart hammered, but I kept my voice steady. "I'm not signing anything. Please leave my property. You're poisoning them against me." Diane shouted. "Just like you poisoned my son against his own family. I'm calling the police if you don't leave." That's when she pulled the knife from her purse. It was a kitchen knife, maybe 8 inches long. The Ring camera caught everything. The moment she withdrew it, the way she held it up to the window. The expression on her face. "Sig in custody, over or I'll cut you," she screamed. I stepped back from the window. Hands shaking, phone already dialing 911 for police cops. "I have a knife-wielding person on my front porch threatening me," I told the dispatcher, voice surprisingly calm. "I have 2 small children in the house. She's demanding custody documents." Diane saw me on the phone. She started pounding on the door with her free hand, still holding the knife. "You can't keep them from me. I have rights. Those are my grandchildren." The operator stayed on the line while I ran upstairs. Locked the bedroom door with the girls inside. Emma was crying. Sophia clutched her stuffed rabbit. "Mommy, why is Grandma yelling?" Emma whispered. "It's okay, baby. The police are coming." Through the window I watched Diane pacing on the porch, still waving the knife, still shouting. The Ring camera captured every word, every movement. Every threat. 5 minutes later, police cars arrived. 2 officers approached with hands on their weapons. Man dropped the knife. One called out. Diane turned toward them, still gripping it. "She's keeping my grandchildren from me. I have rights. Drop the knife now." She finally let it fall, hands going up. The officers cuffed her reading Miranda rights while she cried and protested. I watched from upstairs until they put her in the patrol car. Detective Morrison came to the house an hour later after Diane was booked. Emma and Sophia were finally asleep, exhausted from crying. "I need to see the video," he said. I pulled it up on my phone, then emailed him the file directly from the Ring app. We watched it together on my laptop. Diane producing the knife. The explicit threat, the pounding on the door. "That's assault with a deadly weapon," Morrison said. "Plus attempted extortion, terroristic threats, and child endangerment since your kids were present. She'll say she was just upset, didn't mean it. Doesn't matter. She brought a weapon to your home and threatened your life to force you to sign legal documents. That's premeditation." He closed his laptop. "I'm also contacting Child Protective Services. Anytime a weapon is involved in a custody dispute, they investigate. The girls are safe. She won't. She's a citizen to let him be solved and said she never got inside. I know, but protocol requires a home assessment interviews with the children's safety planning. They'll want to ensure this doesn't happen again. By Wednesday, I had a temporary restraining order. By Thursday, 14 Child Protective Services investigators had been assigned to the case. The lead investigator, Maria Santos, explained it during our first meeting at my kitchen table. This isn't a typical grandparent visitation dispute, she said. Weapon involvement, death threats, attempted coercion of a parent. We treat this as potential child endangerment. 14 of us are coordinating safety assessment, child forensics, domestic violence expertise, mental health evaluation, criminal liaison, court services, and family preservation. 14 people for one incident. One incident. That could have resulted in your death in front of your children. Maria said firmly. We take that seriously. Over the next week, they interviewed Emma and Sophia separately, using gentle questions and dolls. The girls described hearing grandma yelling, "Scary," and mommy being scared. A child psychologist noted age-appropriate fear responses, but no lasting trauma, provided we maintain safety measures. They evaluated my home, locks, security, emergency protocols. They reviewed my documentation of Diane's boundary violations. They interviewed my ex-husband, who admitted his mother could be intense, but claimed she'd never hurt anyone. Then they watched the ring video. The audio is damning. Maria told me. Clear death threat. Specific custody demand. Visible weapon. Your ex-husband's family is claiming she was just emotional. But the evidence shows calculation. She brought papers. She brought a knife. She planned this confrontation. What happens now? We're recommending permanent restraining order with no contact provisions for the children. Diane will be barred from any proximity to you or your daughters until they're 18. The court will terminate any grandparent rights petitions. And we're coordinating with the DA's office on criminal prosecution. The preliminary hearing was brief. Diane's attorney, a tired-looking woman in a wrinkled suit, tried to argue emotional distress. My client is a devoted grandmother who acted out of desperation after being denied access to her grandchildren, she said. The prosecutor played the ring video on the courtroom screen. Diane's face filled the frame, contorted with rage, knife visible, voice crystal clear, sign custody over or I'll cut you. The judge, a woman in her 65s, watched without expression. When the video ended, she turned to Diane. You brought a weapon to a mother's home, and threatened her life to obtain custody of children. The judge said, this court finds you represent a direct and ongoing threat to the safety of both the petitioner and the minor children. Permanent restraining order granted. No contact with the children. No presence within 550 feet of their home, school, or activities. Grandparent visitation petition denied permanently with prejudice. Meaning you cannot refile ever. Diane started. Crying, but they're my granddaughters. You threatened their mother with a knife, the judge said. Coldly, you forfeited any claim to their lives. Bailiff, please ensure Miss Patterson receives copies of the order. The criminal trial was scheduled for 8 weeks later, but Diane's attorney negotiated a plea agreement: 3 years probation mandatory, mental health treatment, restitution for my security upgrades and counseling costs. The felony assault conviction meant she couldn't own firearms and would have a permanent criminal record. More importantly, it meant she'd never petition for custody again. My ex-husband's family split over the incident. His father called it an overreaction to a grandmother's grief. His sister Ashley sent a long email about forgiveness and family healing. His brother Mark, though, sent a different message. I saw the video. What mom did was insane and dangerous. I'm sorry we pressured you. The girls are better off without her until she gets serious help. I didn't respond to any of them. The restraining order extended to prohibiting them from contacting me on Diane's behalf, and I invoked it. The girls asked about Grandma Diane a few times in the first month. I kept it simple. Grandma made some bad choices and can't visit anymore. But it's not your fault. You're safe. Emma, perceptive at 6, asked, did Grandma try to hurt you? Yes, baby, but the police stopped her, and she can't come back. Good, Emma said firmly. I don't want her to hurt my mommy. The Ring doorbell stays. I added cameras to the backyard and side gates. I enrolled the girls in a new daycare across town, with strict pickup protocols, and photos of Diane marked DO not allow contact. Child Protective Services closed the case after 3 months, satisfied with the safety measures and the girls' adjustment. Maria Santos, the lead investigator, gave me her card at the final meeting. You did everything right, she said. You set boundaries. You documented violations. You protected your children. The Ring video made prosecution possible. Without that evidence, this would have been he said, she said. I installed it because I was tired of surprise visits. I admitted. Not because I expected. That technology saved your case. And maybe your life. 7 months later, I still check the Ring app compulsively. Every delivery person, every neighbor, every car that slows down near my driveway, triggers a flutter of anxiety. But the girls are thriving. Emma started first grade. Sophia joined gymnastics. They don't ask about grandma anymore. My divorce attorney sent me the final document last week. Diane's grandparent rights petition officially dismissed with prejudice. Restraining order made permanent by default. Since she didn't contest it. I keep the Ring video saved in 3 separate cloud accounts, just in case, because $40 and 15 minutes gave me something Diane never expected. Irrefutable proof of her real intentions. Not a loving grandmother denied access. A violent woman willing to threaten murder to control children who weren't hers. The knife is still in police evidence. The papers she brought, her custody agreement, are filed with the court as Exhibit B in her criminal case. And my daughters sleep safely in their beds, protected by deadbolts, cameras, court orders, and a mother who refused to be intimidated. Diane has rights, the family said. The 14 Child Protective Services investigators, the judge, and the video evidence disagreed. My children's safety isn't negotiable, and now the law agrees. Do subscribe for next or visit channel.